Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 3 of the NFL preseason. We're talking right now with Indian Cowboy from DocSports.com. We're going to take a look at the Arizona Oakland Week 3 preseason game. And Indian Cowboy, just listening to you talk, obviously you know what you're talking about. You know your stuff. But just give us a little bit more insight into how you go about finding value in the regular season in all these sports at DocSports.com. What do you do? What's the process?
Well, in the regular season, this year we're going to do something different. We're just going to focus on the NFL and the SEC. We have always done well with just limiting our selections. We do it one play the day, as you know, which is what we're really known for. So in baseball, we focus primarily on the American League. In the NBA, we've always focused primarily on taking active underdogs, possibly. So in the same way, we think we do better when we reduce our selections and we just focus on about 25 to 30 games, which is what we'll do this year in the NFL and the SEC. We have 5 selections per week. We went 4-1 last week in the preseason. By really focusing on a smaller area of teams, we feel like we do well. We are able to keep up with a lot of stuff. One of the things that we love to do is look aheads, and teams who also, especially in college football, we love taking look aheads. It's a classic way that our models have shown it works 61 to 62% of the times. But one of the other ways is when you have double-digit favorites that actually only win by 3 or 5 points, the next time around when they face a more competitive team, they blow them out. So let's say you have the Dallas Cowboys favored by 14 against the Browns, and let's say they only win by 3 to 5 points. Then when the Dallas Cowboys hook up against the Eagles, they might only be a favorite by a small amount, which the public thinks, well, they played so badly against the Browns. Of course, the Eagles are going to play and likely blow them out or be much more competitive. I'll go ahead and I'll give up the 4.5 points, because if they only beat the Browns by 3, how are they going to beat the Eagles by 5? And yet you'll see Dallas get up for that game because of a poor performance previous game and win by 7 to 10. So that's one of the things that we kind of look for.
The mind of Indian Cowboy from DocSports.com. That's what he does. That's how he finds value. Thanks so much for doing all these calls with us, Indian Cowboy, giving us your insights and, of course, free picks. And right now, Arizona Oakland is what we're going to discuss. Oakland is the line is pick'em or Oakland -1. Of course, they're at home. The total is relatively low for a Week 3 total, 39.5 or 40. I looked at this game. Both of Oakland's first 2 games went under. Both of Arizona's games went over. I'm thinking that we have a low total here. It's a Sunday night game that's going to be highlighted on NBC. The Cardinals have a reputation of having a tough defense, but I'm thinking that my defense might be aging a little bit. The Raiders, that car to Amari Cooper is going to be a highlight reel that's going to get started right in Week 1. We might see a little bit of that here. I'm thinking we like the over 39.5. Do you agree with that, Indian Cowboy?
This game really has a lot going on, a lot more than people realize. Oakland's defense is on a bounce back, we think, after that poor performance against Minnesota. And keep in mind that Arizona has given up, that defense that has been so strong has given up 34 and 22 points in their last 2 games. So rather than the total, we actually like Oakland here at home. We remember Oakland played really well against St. Louis at home to start it off, coming off a loss against Minnesota as well. And Arizona coming off back-to-back losses. That quarterback play is still very shaky. Their defense has kind of been shaky of late, though it'll get shored up during the regular season. But this kind of fits in with our model. You will never see Oakland favored against Arizona in the regular season. Yet the line opened up at -1 is going backwards, but we still like Oakland here as a pick'em. We've always liked that model where teams who would never be favored against such teams in the regular season, when they're favored in the preseason, especially sub-500 teams, we like taking those teams in general. So we like Oakland here to do well at home.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with you. The Cards didn't protect Carson Palmer that well last game. The one issue, I think, is that Arizona does kind of have good quarterback depth for the preseason. Logan Thomas played well in the preseason last year, has been pretty good at times this year, and then Phillip Sims is suddenly playing very well himself. So, Arizona's going to have a solid quarterback in at all times.
They will, and keep in mind that we do lean on the under as well that you mentioned, because at some point Arizona's going to step up defensively, and after 34 and 22 points, they're probably going to step up defensively well here. But having said that, we like Oakland here. We think this is going to be a much more of a defensive team by nature, and we think they're going to do much better than people realize. They're going to win some ugly games. We actually have them winning about 5 or 6 games. So they're just going to win a lot of ugly games just because they're the pure athleticism that they're going to have on the wings. And so we actually like Oakland to step up here. And it's also a decent public fade as well.
Well, I actually said that I like the over, but so you would disagree with that. I just think I'm liking the over just because Derek Carr might step it up a little bit here. And again, as I said, Arizona's going to have quarterbacks who have played well this preseason in at all times. But you would advise me against taking the over.
It's not really anything against the total. It's more of a favor on the side with Oakland. Right. But I mean, the trends do support your play. I mean, obviously Arizona's gone over both times, and if Oakland finally steps up offensively, then it's going to go easily over. So yeah, I mean, I can see why you'd like the over. For us, it's a small, just because of a metric system, a small lean on the under, if anything. But definitely more of a lean on Oakland than anything else.
All right, well, Indian Cowboys' official pick on this one is going to be Oakland. Right now, Pick'em is one of the market-wide lines. Great case, great analysis, Indian Cowboy. You've definitely got me convinced. And what the hell, I will go official on a play with the over. 39.5 is one of the lines here, market-wide that's available right now. So Indian Cowboy like an Oakland Pick'em, and I'll take over 39.5. Thanks, IC.